Hello everyone, my name is David Manzanares-Salguero, and I'm a current master's student at the Peabody Institute of Music, studying with Maestro Manuel Barrueco. It's a pleasure to have this opportunity to perform for you all, and even bigger pleasure to have this chance to share the music that I love. I'm going to be playing three pieces. The first one will be the first movement of Roland Dyens' Triaela, entitled Motifs. The best way that I have to describe this whole suite is classical guitar remixes. Dyens takes several of his inspirations and mashes them together to create these new genres, really interesting genres. In the first one, he's specifically mixing the atmosphere of Toru Takemitsu as well as Brazilian harmonies and the idea of saudade or melancholy. I really like playing this piece because of the repetitiveness of it. There's this particular melody that happens so many times throughout, and it's really fun to approach it in different ways, whether with color, time, volume, everything that I have at my disposal. So with that being said, this will be Motifs by Roland Dyens. So the next piece I'll be playing will be Domenico Scarlatti's Sonata K10. I absolutely love Scarlatti's music, and I like even more to play his music. I've done multiple arrangements of his sonatas, including the one you're going to hear today. And the thing I like in particular about this Sonata K10 is the fierceness of it. I always imagine sort of a bullfighter throughout the piece, and it's interesting that that image comes to my mind because Scarlatti was very much inspired by Spanish music throughout his life, and this piece in particular, I feel, exemplifies that with the bravado at the beginning and the flying scales all the way throughout that sort of imitate or sound like flamenco at points. So, with that being said, this will be Sonata K10 by Domenico Scarlatti. the last piece I'll be playing today will be one that I wrote actually last year in 2024. It's called Home is When It's Hardest to Say Goodbye. I wrote this piece after I was moving out of my first apartment. Actually, I lived in a retirement home for 2 years where I performed for the residents regularly in exchange for free rent. And so over those 2 years, I really began to appreciate the work of community service and performing for people who might not have as much access to music. And at the end of my time there at Edenwald, the retirement community, as I was moving, I began to feel sort of nostalgia for the place. It didn't really hit me how much I considered that place home and the people there home until I was leaving. Hence the title, Home is When It's Hardest to Say Goodbye. So this piece is meant to evoke nostalgia, like I said before, but also looking back on the good times. The other thing about this piece is that it's particularly supposed to be played in front of people. I asked the audience typically to hum a single note throughout the piece. They can hum it for the whole piece, or they can just do a little bit at the beginning and then die away. Obviously, since this is an online format, it might seem a little strange to do that, but I encourage you to hum along as well once I give you your note. But first, I need to tune a little bit more. So this will be your note. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my video and my music, and I hope you have a great day.